Hello and welcome to return of Tom's House of Words podcast, now known as the Housecast. This is episode 1, where I'll be talking to you about Shark Night. Cut to the image of Shark Night on the YouTube video. There's technology at work. Because YouTube has only got a 10-minute limit on its videos, I've got to cane through this and do one review at a time. Shark Night then. Quite why a film about shark attacks would be released, especially something so similar to Jaws, after Jaws. I know Jaws was made in 1975, but it hasn't really been beaten. And even if you want to do a shit shark film, you've got Jaws 2, 3 and 4. They've even got the shit ones covered. Yeah, that was Deep Blue Sea. Sort of a different kind of thing they did with sharks. That was watchable still, not the same league. Great twist death though. If you haven't seen it, well, it's been a quite while. You only get yourself to blame. Yeah, there were so many things I found wrong with Shark Night. A mere typed blog couldn't contain them all. It was just amateurish bad, and it's not like Mega Shark versus Giant Octopus, where it's meant to be shit. It's not like Piranha 3D, where it's just like a nudge, nudge, wink, wink to the audience. This was just really incompetently made. It was by David Ellis, who did The Final Destination, which was the fourth in the Final Destination saga. Not the greatest film in the world, not the worst. It was more of the same of the Final Destination franchise, but that was it was what it was. Shark Night, however, is just made by a lunatic. Clearly, it's not. Everything is bad, and to make matters worse, it's played completely straight, unlike the aforementioned Mega Shark or your Piranha films. It's completely straight-faced. The plot, for what it's worth, is a group of teenagers go to a friend's island on a lake to celebrate whatever they celebrate. They haven't actually finished their exams yet, but some have, so they're off celebrating that, going jet skiing and all sorts. There's some dangerous, creepy hillbilly types in the town near the lake house, and they want to film the sharks that have ended up in this lake, mauling people so they can sell it to television networks. Now, I know in 2012 the media is under a lot of scrutiny. It's pretty bad, but we probably will. Get me wrong. We'll probably, 5 years we'll probably be there with news stories just based on snuff and like documentaries just showing people getting killed. We're not that far from Faces of Death, but yeah, not quite yet. Not quite yet. So that's your basic premise. There's really little shark action. You don't see... I think the closest you get to seeing any sort of shark attack is like a mist of blood in the water after a shark goes towards someone. You don't actually see any shark attacks properly in this film, not like you'd see a piranha attack in Piranha or a shark attack in Jaws. You don't actually see anyone getting... There's not even anything close to that infamous start of the first Jaws film with the girl getting... There's nothing even close to that. And that's one of the many, many aching problems of this. It's just terrible. The shark itself looks worse than the shark in the original Jaws. And the shark in the original Jaws wasn't the greatest looking shark ever. It was clearly a model. This was 1975, folks. What do you expect? But this, it's just a CG... cartoon shark. Again, comparison to Mega Shark, it is that bad looking. It looks like a cartoon in the middle of a film, almost like Roger Rabbit sort of style. So there's that. There is a shark model used in one excellent part, but no. The excellent part I speak of spawns from a guy who has his arm chopped off. You do actually see his arm not there anymore. His arm bitten off, I should say, by a shark. He's out in the lake, jet skiing. He comes off a jet ski, shark gets him. You don't see this, clearly. And then he manages to swim inland on one arm, which is impressive. I couldn't. And they're trying for hours to get him to a hospital or give him any sort of medical attention. They just basically put a splint on it as a stopgap and throw him in one of the lake house's rooms. He sort of gets a second wind, manages to get a shirt on, which about the limit of what I could do, go out to the lake with a spear and proclaim that he's going to be hunting down this shark that got him. And he does. Well, it wasn't a shark that got him, but it was a shark, and he goes after it and he kills it with a spear, one-armedly. So realism isn't a big priority here, even though this is, remember, played completely straight. Other little things, there's a dog that jumps out of water, which dogs can't actually do. Going back to the arm guy, actually, when he actually gets his arm back, so they can put it on ice and what have you. One of his friends, he jumps it back into the lake to find it, and they're quite a way out when they're jet skiing, as you have to be when you're jet skiing. You can't exactly do it by the shore. And he goes straight there and he finds the arm in a big ass lake within 30 seconds. Boom, he's straight there, got it, back, arm. There you go. Terrible. Terrible, terrible, terrible. I've got a list in front of me, and I'm just, what should I pick out next? I'm thinking, there's no shark attacks. There's no real gore at all. There's a bit with a guy with his arm stumped, but it's nothing that horrific. You don't see anything, and it's just bad. They try and set up some of the characters. Well, they try to set up one of the lead actors as some sort of geeky nerd character. The film starts with him helping who's just helped someone like pass an exam, and he's there and in his glasses. It's almost like watching a porn where like the porn actor's got glasses on to make himself look intelligent, and the moment the sex starts, they're whipped off and it's forgotten about because he's got these glasses on and he's persuaded to go to this lake house because this girl's going to be there, and I don't know why they're putting this girl up in a pedestal because she's not entirely that attractive and she's got a massive forehead. But the glasses don't get seen again. And they're off, and he's just like everyday, everyman, lad, guy. It's terrible. Probably the worst thing I've seen, and one of the worst things I've ever seen in a film that's played straight, is there's a scene where a character gets set on fire and he jumps into the lake to put himself out. As he jumps into the lake, downwards, you can see the stuntman's wig come off, and not just like slip off, it flies upwards off. And I've got a 40-inch screen I saw that on, so if you saw it in the cinema, oh my god, what that must have looked like. Or on a bigger screen than that. You could see it on a little 19-inch monitor, for God's sake. It looked awful. When it was out of the cinema, of course, it was in 3D, which, looking at it, because you can look at films and say, oh wow, you could see films that not that often that would be like, wow, that would have looked great in 3D if you don't catch it in cinema. Example, Martin Scorsese's Hugo, I saw that last weekend, looked fantastic, and I was just a bit annoyed. I was like, God, I wish I'd seen that in 3D. And there's films like the forthcoming Ridley Scott Prometheus, the sort of alien, not alien film coming out. I will see that in 3D. I'll break rules. I don't mind. Shark Night? No. There's a few scenes where the lead girl with a plate forehead's arse is like swaying in front of a camera in a bikini. That's pretty much the extent of 3D technology used on that one. Shark Night is a woeful film. It almost reaches that so bad it's good category, but falls short because of the main problem: it's played too straight for its own good. Right, 10 minutes is almost up. You really go for it when it's 10 minutes. It's actually quite helpful, actually. You don't stop and start, you just plough straight forward. Not sure what I'll be reviewing next time, but keep an eye on the new channel here. And, well, the new channel if you're watching it through YouTube. I will have put this just straight up on the blog because that's where the hits count for me. So yeah, until episode 2 of the Housecast, see you next time. Bye-bye.